So before we get into this episode of the podcast, just note that this was filmed before episode 6, 7, and obviously onward of WandaVision came out. So we will only be discussing things from episode 1 to 5. Also note there may be some level of offensive language throughout, so yeah, keep that in mind and enjoy the podcast.
Sorry.
Do you just tell me when you're ready, James, and I'll intro my video?
I'm bloody ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 6, I think, of my podcast. And is it 6? Because I think...
Right.
Well, because I recorded an episode.
Which I'll get onto.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Then it was Fabian. Then...
Paul?
No, this is 5, because it was Paul, then Jack, then me, unless you filmed any other...
Yeah, and I can tell you why I thought it was this was episode 6, because I filmed an entire podcast with Caitlin, and all of the footage got corrupt. Now, even on her side, all got corrupt. So it never got released. It was a fun... Oh, you're just going to go on about bragging that you were the first.
No. So, we have a group chat where I think everyone who's done it so far is in it, and a few people that wanted to
I've got them down.
And they were all talking about, what's the best podcast? And I was literally like, mine was done so long ago. I don't think anyone had even seen mine. And I was like, right then, what the fuck? like, guys, I'm the OG. Like, get in line. Guess who's on a second time, because I can get him subscribers. So overall, get your life sorted.
It was like your little rant. Are you done with your little rant now, James?
Yeah. So yeah, that's me done.
Okay. Well, thank you. Good rant.
Thanks for the podcast, everyone. See you next week.
And thank you for watching. So yeah, obviously you are returning to the podcast by popular demand. Really, is the only way I can sort of describe why you're back, James. It's just people love a bit of Nerdy Brit.
I think. Because I've checked this because of my ego.
Have you checked the podcast views?
I think I don't know about Spotify views, but I think I'm the most on YouTube, or one of the most.
Well, you are one view ahead of Fabian's. One view. Which is, that's... Fabian's not happy about that.
I mean, bearing that in mind, that trio plus Fabian... Yeah. And maybe Sean if he's up for it. That's going to be the ultimate podcast.
We need to get everyone have a drink when this is over. That's going to be the podcast to end. That is going to be the podcast to end all podcast. That is really. So I thought we could jump in. You've got Marvel posters behind you, James, which is pretty apt for what we're going to talk about first.
Stuff.
We haven't spoken about WandaVision yet, me and you, and we're quite big MCU fans, and we haven't spoken about any of the episodes yet.
I mean, I will admit this will be a preview, because what I've been doing is every week doing 2-minute review type things. I will then string together into
nice.
Just to see if that's a good way of reviewing series going on.
Yeah, that crossed my mind. Is do I film a bit after every episode of me talking about it? But I didn't find much to talk about with the first few. So I just
I was stretching. I mean, I think the first 2 episodes, bearing in mind they were
released
together, so that kind of works. It's a segment on its own. But let's dive.
Yeah, before we get into this, there obviously are going to be spoilers for I don't know how long. I might be kind and put a timestamp there of when we stop talking about WandaVision, but then again I might not. So yeah, I think let's start with the first episodes. When I first watched them, I was a bit like, I don't know if this is going to be my cup of tea. If it's just going to be a sitcom for the whole thing, I'm not sure that's my thing.
I mean, it's a tough thing, because I genuinely it's not I knew, but you can see from the trailers, we've been promised that it was kind of half sitcom, half MCU epic, and it was very much the idea of this is building to something, and I think you kind of from by the end of episode 2 and mainly episode 3, you kind of work out this is kind of the first MCU mystery type thing, and one of my problems, I think, has been that with one of the more recent episodes, but I think it was like episode 4.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like they set up things in episodes 1 to 3 and then decided, right, instead of building the mystery to a big reveal, we're going to answer questions 1 to 3 and then leave more questions.
Yeah, I was going to say, for every question they answer, they throw another mystery out there, and I don't know if I like that as a structure.
I think as a show, it is very hard to review it without having seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, bearing in mind, this does work as like our half season's thoughts, so maybe we'll decide to revisit our thoughts together. But
episode 3 of the podcast, maybe, with James. Come on for the third time.
I mean, overall, it is looking... I'm enjoying it, but I'm not sure if I'm enjoying the ride or enjoying, like, the payoffs.
Yeah, and I think I just love Paul Bettany, like as an actor and as Vision. I think he's brilliant.
He's so good.
In the most recent episode, where I assume you've seen it, I did check that I've seen all of them. Yeah. When he like started getting really angry at Wanda, I was like, this is what we need to see. Like completely new, because Vision isn't like that. Vision is like literally built to be like a peacekeeping like android. So when he started like, shouting at Wanda, I was like, okay, this is what we need to see. And I think I watched, you know, the Super Carlin brothers.
Yeah.
Have you been watching any of their theories on it? Because they've been doing quite a few videos on it.
I mean, slight sidetrack. Apart from when Jonathan uploads a vlog,
yeah,
I've been getting a bit bored of the format. I think. I think generally they're. I mean, you can kind of see from their channel that they are, like, they kind of did peak like 2 years ago. Like, you look at their like most few videos, there is nothing from before 2 years ago, just because they are kind of. They've done all their big ideas. I mean, Pixar theories are kind of dying.
Yeah, when the Pixar theory like peaked, that was when they peaked. And I only tend to watch their videos if it's about something I'm currently watching or have watched recently. So when they release like,
a big part of them is Harry Potter, and
there's no like, Harry Potter.
Not much to interest me
apart
in
from,
that. Like,
yeah. So
I like the books. I like the films. I care nothing about the deep lore of Harry Potter.
Oh, it's not. I think because with Marvel, there are obviously 23 films and more coming. There's series now. There is a lot to delve into, and because they all link, but not like Harry Potter, all the film link because it's all about the same thing. But because MCU is about different things in the same universe that affect each other, I think that's why it's more interesting to sort of dive into.
And like even like leaning it back on to WandaVision, I think that's one of the most exciting things that with this, then I think they're taking literally like a week break and then Falcon Winter Soldier starts. Loki's coming in like May.
Yeah.
What if it's going to be like summer or like very early autumn? Like, especially with films as well. Like we've had our year break and now I feel like this is where the MCU really can like build up because we're just getting like so much content and like fair enough, like the casual viewer, it might be a bit tough because there might not be a lot of people that can like keep up with everything. But for like the very like the hardcore fans of that material, it's a very exciting time to be an MCU fan.
And especially with not only the series coming one after the other, but then you've got Black Widows coming out, you've got Eternals, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you've got Thor: Love and Thunder, all these films.
Never open.
Yeah, they'll all be shown on Disney Plus for a premium price first, like they did with Mulan, which is shambles.
I reckon Black Widow will. I would like to say Eternals, Shang-Chi, like the second wave. Like those films have a lot of like representation in, and I feel like if they're like part of the first few films to like be put to Disney Plus, everyone will go like, I don't know if from a business standpoint that's a good idea because a lot of people are very like active on social media. I feel like they would get a lot of call outs because like the Eternals has got a lot of like representation in and stuff. Shang-Chi's obviously the first like proper like Asian superhero. Like it's one of those things was like if you then put that on Disney Plus, that looks like you're trying to like, do you know what I mean? Like take away from like that experience by having it on Disney Plus, and therefore like
it's like we've
not
done this
giving
really
its full potential.
Yeah, it's like we've done this really cool thing with representation for like so many different cultures, but you have to give us $30 to watch it. It's like, oh, I don't know, not sure.
You're not giving. So you'll
You're
give
profiting
the 45
from
white guys the cinematic treatment, but you won't give
yeah. And it's a bit like it's
group
like, oh, I don't know.
treatment.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good look. So let's we took a bit of a tangent there. I do want to get back to WandaVision because obviously a lot of things did happen. There's theories that it's the devil that's doing. Like, do you think someone is doing it to Wanda, or do you think Wanda's doing it to herself? Like the whole thing.
I think there has to be something else because Wanda's in Doctor Strange 2.
Yes, I agree.
Because I think there has to be some form of. I mean, Mephisto's been said a lot.
Yeah.
Agnes has been said a lot. Those types of characters, but I feel like there has to be some leaping out. I mean, I personally think it would be much more interesting if Wanda was the Doctor Strange 2 villain. I think that
would be brilliant.
So much, because that would be genuinely like your first like MCU villain who you have seen their origin story
before
without even knowing you're seeing their origin story.
Yeah, and that would be because she was when she was introduced, because she was with Ultron in Age of Ultron. She was like part of she was trying to destroy them, and then Clint was like, "Look, you can either join us and fight, or you can stay here and die." And she's like, "Well,
you can definitely see like the anti-hero in her."
Oh yeah,
especially with her she's got a very like Zemo-ish backstory, so it's kind of like you can see how Zemo kind of like fully went down that path, whereas Wanda's kind of like, I'm a good person, but a lot of shit has happened to me.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
You kind of feel like that's like the perfect spectrum with someone like Thor, who has had like a lot happen to him, and fair enough, but that those struggles haven't like turned to necessarily like evil, but It instead it kind of turned into like the depression type elements we saw in Endgame. Whereas someone like Wanda, that's clearly taken a hit onto her so hard that's then kind of hit her morals. So those are the kind of interesting comparisons you can make when you've got such a wide, expansive universe.
I didn't even think about the possibility of Wanda being the villain in Doctor Strange 2. Yeah, I didn't even. That's really.
I'm not
that's
sure
cool.
if they'll commit, but I think that's the most interesting way to go.
So moving away from the like sitcom side of WandaVision and going into the more Jimmy Woo, Darcy, director, whatever the director's called, that sort of side.
Give Jimmy Woo a Disney Plus spin-off.
I love that man. He's so good.
Chuck Darcy and that, like, genuinely,
they're so good.
Like the Darcy, Jimmy Woo, Monica Trinity.
Rambo. Yeah, they're so good.
Amazing. I love it.
It's unparalleled. It is just so, because it's such a weird combination of having like Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp and Darcy from Thor. You wouldn't think that they would at any point come together, but the fact that they have is just
they go so well,
glorious,
so well.
So the biggest like mystery is the whole hexagon theme. Like there's hexagons everywhere. What is, because we haven't. Because I know a lot of people have talked about, so the like force field around Westview is hexagons. I saw a thing today on, I can't remember where I saw it, that in the director's office, his diplomas are arranged in a hexagon.
Yeah.
So there's hexagons everywhere. What?
I mean, I'm like, quick sidetrack, that director, something's evil with him.
Oh, he's not right, yeah.
Whether it's the fact that he's one of the villains. I mean, I reckon he like, you see that he's the one that has like control of Vision's body. He definitely stole that nefariously.
Oh yeah.
And also, he is acting director, so that does kind of let someone like Monica maybe step up.
Yeah.
But the genuinely the hexagonal thing, I have no idea.
No,
no one does. No idea.
Like, bring it back to the Super Carlo Brothers, they don't know. It's like they predict a lot of things within these universes, and it's their full-time thing. They've got an office of staff who are dedicated to doing this, and they don't know.
That's a cool mystery for me. That is like that is something. I mean, I think I love that people are fans of the comics and now have had this thing to adapt. But when there's nothing then to link back from the comics, it then, because for most properties, you can probably look at the way the comics went just to get an idea of where you're going. With something like this, like, it's very cool that that people can't just Google something and find spoilers.
Exactly, because we knew that with in the comics, Wanda and Vision have children called William and
Wiccan and Speed.
In the comics, they're called but in the show, they're called William and something else. But we knew they had twins.
Young Avengers was definitely on the horizon.
Oh, like, definitely.
You've got Cassie Lang, who's just been aged up. You've got the Hawkeye series with young Hawkeye. The Ironheart series is coming.
Yeah, we're Young Avengers.
Like, with Wiccan and Speed being like developed in this, like you've got that coming.
It's definitely happening. So I think we've sort of talked enough about WandaVision without talking about the biggest reveal that I think we've had at the moment, and that is the return of, his name escapes me. What's his name?
Evan
Peters.
Evan Peters, as, like the X-Men Quicksilver.
Quicksilver from X-Men. So when I saw, because I watch it every Friday morning with my brother before he has to do his schoolwork, because we both love the MCU. And we saw the back.
I watched X-Men Days of Future Past.
I absolutely don't. And I saw, because it shows like the back of his head first, and it was like a silvery grey hair. I was like, that can't be Quicksilver, surely. And it do that, and I'm like, but that's not our Quicksilver. That is like, that's the X-Men one. So what is that like? She's changing reality so much that multiverses are opening, and he's managed to come through somehow from the X-Men version of, like, what do you think's gone on there?
I mean, we talk about mysteries. Now, a big part of mystery is a red herring.
Yeah.
Could it be, like Darcy said, that they genuinely just Wanda recast Quicksilver? I mean, apparently, Aaron Taylor-Johnson isn't showing up at all, which I'm quite surprised about.
Yeah.
But apparently he just won't be showing up at all.
Right.
I don't know if this is just like in her reality, he's shown up. Is this someone like Agnes bringing because this new thing in the because Wanda is clearly surprised. This is
she wasn't like you're here. She was like
unless it's her acting as part of the scenario. I do not believe that this is Wanda bringing him into the scenario.
She's like, I don't know what's happened here. You're saying because she won't know that that's her brother. Like, she obviously goes, that's the one from X-Men. She's like, well, you're not my brother. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have said, did she create it inadvertently? When she was talking to the twins about, they're like, do you have a brother? She's like, I do. He lives far away. And people are like, well, does that, like, has somehow she's inadvertently then created a new brother under the same name but just looks different?
I mean, I think I would quite like it to be X-Men, because I mean, like, I'm not that fond of Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix was a complete mess, but I really like X-Men Days of Future Past, and I feel like, especially with the multiverse on the horizon, fair enough, this Quicksilver doesn't have to, like, stick around, like, too long, but I'd still like to see, like, if Patrick Stewart wants to suddenly pop in, like...
if Ian McKellen wants to fly into Magneto, I don't have a problem with it. He can...
If Ian McKellen wants to fly into me, that's all right.
Oh my God, Jay!
That's a red.
That's I can't believe you said that. Wow. I mean, he's a great actor, but you know.
I did did you see I did an impression in my video?
Yes. Honestly, it's a nightmare.
See, on a quick YouTube, like, that is genuinely, like, one of the funnest things I'm trying at the moment. It's just
like skits and stuff.
Add in, like, different, like, bits and stuff. Like, I find that the funnest thing to, like, add in at the moment.
The intro to your Lost in the Woods video, I don't know why it made me laugh so much, but it just did. when the music started playing, and you were like, "Did you get copyright?" I was like, "He's going to get copyright claimed." You started playing the music, Frozen. I was like, "What's going on?"
That really irritated me because we filmed it, so it was so there could be about like a 10-15 second clip in there, but then so I uploaded it as unlisted to see if it would get a copyright claim, and it did. Oh. So I was like, I'll see if I can upload it a bit the clip a bit shorter, to then see if that'll get copyrighted. So I think there's about 6-7 seconds of music in there, and that didn't. But that kind of irritated me because when I watch it, it doesn't flow as well. But I didn't really want the claim.
Yeah. Well, I've heard like there's been like people have said, "Oh, you can put this amount of music in from anywhere and it won't get claimed." Is there any truth to that? Because I get so worried about putting any sort of music into my videos.
Well, I'm just like, a lot of people say 15 seconds or less, and that clearly isn't true in this.
It doesn't work.
Because I got claimed for about, I think it was like something silly, like 8 seconds. I cut it down to about 6 seconds, and it worked.
YouTube is a very weird thing. Is there any more you want to talk about with WandaVision or the MCU before we move on? Because I've got a whole thing on YouTube that I want to talk about. I just want to check. I don't want to move on.
One more thing about WandaVision: the best scene.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end of episode 5. I think it's in episode 5.
Go on.
I think when Wanda comes out of the hex sphere.
Yes.
And that's where you kind of see her as pretty much full villain. I mean, the accent comes back.
That's what I was saying. Because
I mean,
the only other time
with that it kind of has been suggested. So we kind of know Black Widow was kind of like training Wanda to kind of like hold in the accent a little bit more, like speak a bit more American. But you kind of feel like in the show she's trying to play kind of like Happy Family. So maybe she kind of feels like that accent kind of like holds her back. When she's out of the sphere, she's just being like back to like fully herself. And
that's what like making links. The only other time we've heard her speak with a Russian accent is Age of Ultron, when she was introduced as quite a villainous character. So making links, like, well, if that was her being villainous and she had a Russian accent and she's now got a Russian accent, is it like she's going back to being like an evil, horrible, trying to kill everyone thing?
And that scene was just like, that was sick. That was
it was great when the director was like, "You're holding the whole village." What's the word? Hostage. Thank you. And she's like, "I'm not the one with the guns, director." It was like, well, you've got a valid point, to be honest.
Yeah. And then she just, I was half thinking, like, is this where the director dies?
I thought we were just gonna like it'll pan away and we just see like a shot or something. I was fully expecting it. Like we didn't see it happen, but
I was quite hoping for it because I find him irritating.
He does. We've seen him for like what, 1, maybe 2 episodes. The director.
We saw him in 4 and 5.
Yeah, and he's already doing my head in.
Which is why I think he's nefarious, because I feel like he's been painted out not to be the best of persons, and also if we really wanted to show Wanda's change, I think he would have killed them.
Oh yeah. One more thing on WandaVision before we go is the whole, because they reference Captain Marvel at some point where they're like, Wanda nearly could have killed Thanos if this didn't happen. And then was it Jimmy or the director? They're like, oh no, Captain Marvel came pretty close.
I think that was
Jimmy,
part of the Jimmy Darcy.
So what? And obviously Monica and Captain Marvel. So they're saying, so people are like, oh well, maybe Monica has the same powers. And I'm not convinced, because people are trying to link Monica.
Obviously, Monica is gonna get her powers at some point. And because we know she's in Captain Marvel 2. I think because of the amount of appearances she'll have had by the end of Captain Marvel 2, I think she either gets her powers during WandaVision or during Captain Marvel 2. Because I think if you leave it until after that, it just feels like you're making fans wait.
Yeah, and
for no reason.
I don't think she's got her powers yet. She
just hasn't got her powers yet.
People are saying, oh, she's pulling that face because she's got the same powers as Captain Marvel. She's like, if I can take on Thanos, it's like, no, she hasn't got the powers yet. Otherwise, we'd have seen some sort of scene where she's on her own, and she hasn't got her powers yet.
the most interesting thing to me about that scene was it seemed like there was some aggression between, like, Monica's reaction to Captain Marvel being named wasn't positive. So, I mean, my theory on that is probably that she wasn't around to see Maria die.
Yeah.
That's probably my theory on that. But I feel like that was like the most interesting angle. I feel like that was a little bit of Captain Marvel 2 set up, is that there's clearly, going into that film, something's not right between Monica and Carol.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So moving on, I've just sort of, on my notes, I've just got the word YouTube, because there's a few things, shock horror, we both do YouTube. On that note, James, you'll have a card in the top corner and link in the description. And you know what, James? You're going to be on the end screen as well. That's right. You're on. Look at this. All the folks.
I think ever since you've been in the video, I think I've just, like, most of the time just popped you.
Because I just import it from the latest video. So to be honest, you might just be on there indefinitely now. Because I tend to just.
To be fair, also I have been putting Paul up recently, because, like,
I love Paul.
Because honestly, like, he needs to upload a bit more consistently, bless him. But I can't really talk about that.
You know,
but you're doing very well.
Well, to be fair, it's only February.
But you stuck to Wednesdays and Sundays.
It wasn't a whole year, because I uploaded my New Year's resolution video was uploaded later than I wanted it to be. But, like, since then, so that was, I don't know when it was uploaded, and I can't see. That's not very helpful. Okay, don't know when it was uploaded, but yeah. So that I think that was like 10th of January, maybe. So like a month I've stuck to it.
Yeah.
And I go on.
I mean, I haven't been doing like two, but because I mean, especially as I managed to get 2 videos out of the Frozen thing. I think in the last 3 weeks I've uploaded about 6.
Okay.
So I mean, I haven't been doing too badly, but then it also, like, that's probably the thing with consistency, is that for me, consistency isn't me putting out 2 videos a week roughly. Consistency for me is managing to weekly give something for a long time. And at the moment, I genuinely cannot say every week there will be something. I can say some weeks there will be 2 videos, but I can't say every week I can produce something, just because I have a job. I'm a key worker.
It's different, like, situation for me and you, because I'm on furlough, for anyone that didn't know. And if you're not from the UK, you don't know what furlough is. Basically, because of lockdown,
he's making money by doing no work.
I can't work because where I work isn't open in lockdown, so the government, bless their souls, are paying me 80% of my wages while I sit at home and make videos. So you could say I'm being paid for YouTube in a very back to front way. This is my job now. So I've got loads of spare time on my hands, so I can film every other day, every day, and get videos backed up. I've got a backlog of about 3 videos up scheduled at the moment, because I don't have anything else to do. But obviously James, key worker James, obviously
I mean, like, I'm genuinely going to be honest. Like, I do my job. Some weeks I'm lucky and it's like 4 days a week, and at most, like very occasionally I've worked every day in a week, but most I'd say about 20% of the time I work for, like, about 4 days a week. Like 75% is like 5, and then like an extra like 5% is like 6 days a week. But like, even when some of those are like shorter shifts, and bearing in mind I've got my own life to manage, like it's one of, like, some days, like a lot of the times in back-to-back videos, like, you'll see me like wearing like the same clothes, and it's genuinely because, like, I've just got to film 2 videos in that same time, just to make sure I have some consistency.
Yeah, because obviously I said in my resolutions video that I want to stick to this. I think I gave myself some sort of like forfeit. If I don't stick to it, then this is going to happen. So I have gone through, and I don't know if I think I might have done. Unless I
did, but
okay, well then I have no repercussions. I can do what I want.
I get the channel and the sub.
Hang on, but I've I've planned out all my videos up until 11th of April. So I've gone on my notes because I've got a tab on my notes of just video ideas, but I've now sorted that into Wednesdays and Sundays up until the 11th of April, just to give me a, like, I like to know what I'm doing. Like, I can know, like, I know some people will sit down and just like record a video that they've thought of there and then. But I'm like, I like to know what I'm doing. I like to have some sort of prep behind it. Like, I don't script my videos, but I tend to have bullet points of some sort. I don't know if you, because I think we've spoken about this, but do you like, because obviously there's some videos you cannot like script. Like, this is scripted in the fact that I got bullet points of notes, but it's not, like, I don't know what I'm saying.
It genuinely comes down to a video. I can be on either end. So I can be on like, I can make the video like the Frozen video, and literally I'm going to a location, and therefore I want things to be quick. I want things to run smoothly. I want to do things. I want to have takes that happen quite quickly. And I want everything to be really funny and snappy because this is a high concept video and I want it to do well. Yeah. So therefore, that is pretty much fully scripted.
Okay.
It is pretty much, I have very much know exactly what I want to say to something that can pretty much be me waffling.
Yeah. I did a Mario Kart video that went up yesterday. And I just wanted to play Mario Kart. So I thought, I may as well record it and get free content out of it. And I just literally waffled about like plans for the channel, things like that. Just as did it do well? No, but not every, like, I'm not worried because I didn't put effort into it. Like, it's when you put a lot of effort into a video and it doesn't do well. And it's like, well,
that Frozen video was kind of, in a weird way, it was heartbreaking because I love that. For me, it's the best video on my channel. And
the idea is just top. That is such a creative idea as well.
But then again, I loved making it. I enjoy. That's the most fun I've had editing a video. That's the most fun I've had writing a video. That's the most fun I've had filming a video. So even though it didn't do well, bearing in mind I don't have like hundreds and hundreds of ideas of that type of like location type video. I have a few, and I'm definitely going to do them just because I enjoyed producing. Like I think for me, sometimes YouTube feels like this really fun thing. Sometimes it does feel like I'm grinding for a bit of success to make it worthwhile.
Yeah,
and I feel like when I make videos like that, like it to me, while I'm proud of it and I want it to do well, like, even though it didn't do very well, I'm still glad I made it.
Oh yeah, because it might be like a slow burner. Like there are loads of videos that when it came out, I was like, well, that didn't do great. I go back to it like a month later, and it's like it's like one of my top videos, and I'm like,
a couple of my videos still gain like about 20-30 views a month.
Oh, on it, yeah. Hamilton I can't believe it still bags views.
I mean, genuinely, literally, a couple of videos ago, I literally, like, a skit I did.
Yeah, I saw that. Views are down, what do we do? Hamilton?
Views are down on YouTube. It was like,
I watched the videos, you see.
I use the glasses.
Yeah. See, I'm avid, I know all the detail streams. I watch, avid watcher of the Nerdy Brit channel. Now, talking of, like, videos getting views and sort of seeing that, one of the worst things about the YouTube Studio app, in my opinion, is the 1 to 10 system. I don't like seeing that it's like 10 of 10. I'm like, I don't care.
It's
just show me the views. It's like, just show me the views. I don't want to see that it's 10 of 10 of my last 10 videos. That's depressing.
I mean, like, because my Frozen ranking didn't do very well, and also there isn't like that many like fans of my channel, the outtakes video did horrendous. I think it's on about 4 views and like not much watch time. And it's one of those things where it's like, not only is that quite demotivating, especially because that also, fair in mind, it isn't my favorite video, but it's still like very funny. It's like 3 minutes of like funny outtakes, and like you feel like not only is that demotivating, but then does that? I feel like that's probably then going to affect me on the YouTube algorithm. Will I then be recommended less because my last couple of videos haven't done very well?
Yeah, it's a tricky. It's just YouTube's a very weird thing because sometimes like a video just gets picked up by the algorithm and chucked out there. You're like, amazing. Like I reacted to the Disney Investor Day Pixar releases,
and that
has overtaken my illegal Hamilton video, which for the longest time, I remember we were in Spoons when I put it up, and it was I had like 70 views in the first quarter of an hour. I was like, that's mental, and it kept growing, and it's been overtaken now. So I was like, well. So it's the weird, but I wasn't proud of that video because I was just sat there reacting to Pixar.
Like genuinely, like that 14th Doctor video, I think like isn't like amazing, but like for me, I think that's on about 70 now, and like for me, like that's like top 10 or like nearing that type of thing. But like that was like I all I did for that video was literally go. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And sometimes I think that comes down to like a clever thumbnail. So like, for example, I wanted to talk about Michael Sheen anyway, but I knew he was a popular choice for the Doctor. So if I then put Michael Sheen in the thumbnail, that could get views because I think that's a popular choice.
Yeah, I think some thumbnails and titles, I think that I don't people put enough sort of thought into it, or people that don't make YouTube videos sort of maybe don't put thought into it, but it's like the thumbnail and especially the title is like so important. Thumbnail more than title, because obviously no one reads the title before looking at the thumbnail. The thumbnail's the big thing you see.
The thumbnail is the thing that catches people's eyes. Like
they'll read the title and go, "Ooh."
That's one of those things where these days I struggle to make a good Hamilton thumbnail because a lot of the times I'm thinking, well, what can I do that actually makes this stand out? I can put a Hamilton logo on there so people know it's Hamilton. I can maybe put a Lin-Manuel Miranda like picture in the thumbnail. Yeah. But like, there's a lack of surprising things I can do with that.
It's a tricky one.
It's impossible to navigate, really.
It's impossible to tell when you record a video like this video now. This podcast, is it going to do well or is it not? I don't know. Like there's.
To be fair though, I mean, maybe it's because it's people your like personal social.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's one that's done like particularly.
None of them have done actually that bad, and the watch time on them's pretty decent. So, but I think it's because it's content you don't have to pay attention to particularly. Like it can be background music. Like I put podcasts on as background noise a lot.
Your Fabian podcast, I think that was just like 2 hours, I think, and literally like I think I just like put it on my phone and just edited a video while it was playing. I can't edit to music because music is too loud to then make sure you've got the right cuts.
Yeah,
but podcasts, as long as it's like quite quiet, the podcast I could like do it with it.
See, I find it difficult to edit with any music. Oh, because obviously I'm listening to or like any podcast, anything, because I'm paying attention to the audio from whatever footage I've got. So I just find it really. Everyone's different. But I find it difficult to edit when I've got any sort of like music or podcast or TV on. Like I can't do it. I have to just have.
Sometimes I prefer it in silence, or occasionally that for me is where like I don't like using this term, but you know, like the in England we don't really do this, but like in America there is a lot of like the network 22 episode style show.
Yes.
And like an 8 episode, like 10 episode, like Netflixy type show is something that if I'm watching, I'm focusing on. Like, but like the 22 episode type non-focusy show is the type of show I can like have on in the background while editing and stuff. Like,
so is that like Big Bang Theory, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, those sort of things that are I've been watching
a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine recently.
I can't get into it.
I love it. I didn't watch it till recently. My sister actually was the one that suggested it for me, and ever since then I love it. I've been rewatching Once Upon a Time with that on in the background.
That's good.
big fan. I loved that show when it first like kind of like came on. So that, yeah. So those types of shows where it's like those types of shows where like that either an episode is basically a filler episode. It's either a filler episode, it's an episode that's good but should have been cut down, or it's actually a good episode. And it's one of those things where it's like, with all of these shows, they would be better as like a 16 episode run, a 13 episode run, just because they've come up with about 16 episodes worth of content, and then they've gone, well, this storyline that we can do in 8 episodes needs to be stretched to 13. So here's a filler episode. Here's a plot line to get that conclusion to the next episode instead of this one. Like, it's so those are the kind of shows that you don't need to pay as much attention to. So I can edit with those.
That's fair enough. So this is something I've wanted to ask you for quite a while, but I just never got around to it. There's a chance I've asked you before, I can't remember, so sorry if I have. What do you use to edit your thumbnails?
Thumbnails?
Yes, because we use the same video editor, don't we? We use Windows Movie Maker, the Pro version, I believe, both of us.
What I do is I use the old Movie Maker because like my computer stopped working. I got it back, and the version I use isn't supported anymore. So I actually had to like go into the delves of the to try and like get it back. And what I find is that if I need to like overlay a picture or something like that, even then I will still use my old software because I find it so easy to cut together videos with it. Like, it's so quick. You can see the timeline. You can pop bits in. I like being able to see like the whole timeline. That's much easier for me. And like and moving clips around is a lot easier. So I'll use that. And then if I need to overlay, I'll just export it, put it in as the finished thing, and then put like something in over it. Like,
so we both use pretty like simple. Like we're not using like Adobe Premiere Pro or anything. We're just using like built-in software sort of thing.
I reckon even if I did use that sort of software, I would still probably cut it together using my old stuff, and then one day I do probably want to make things a bit flashier, a few more like, maybe not like welcome to Shocks and Sparks, but like
why is that? You don't need that unnecessary dig. We don't need that. Took me so hard.
No, I love it, but more just kind of like if I wanted to do like zooms and like that's like, oh, funny, he's using zooms, like that,
like the classic like face
stuff. That's when I'll probably do something different with it.
So back to thumbnails. That was the original question. What do you use?
How do you edit yours?
Well, for the longest time, I did it on my phone using, I can't remember what the app was called. There's like a free app that I just used. But recently, I've invested. I've made quite a few investments. I want to go through some of them with you for YouTube, because my sort of mantra for life is, if you want to make, because both of us, I assume, want to try and make this into some sort of, not necessarily a career, but we want to get some financial benefit out of this. I assume you're the same there.
Unfortunately, money would be a good motivator to not only invest in the channel, but also just to keep like doing it to good quality. So I bought
Photoshop. It's not actually that bad. It's like £7-8 a month. So I thought, you know what?
That's pretty good.
We'll go for it. So I haven't got any of the fancy, like, you could get like the whole Adobe software with like Premiere Pro. It was like £80 a month. So I don't know how to use it. I don't need to know how to use it. I'm fine with Windows Movie Maker. But I got Photoshop. So that's what I've been using past. Like, if you look at the past few thumbnails, I've been sort of experimenting with Photoshop. I'm not great at it, but it's learning, because my brother uses it quite a lot for random stuff. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go, and it's working out all right. The other thing, I bought a light recently, because I quite like. I'll record at any time of the day. Like it might be like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I really want to record a video, so I just bought.
That's one of the things I struggle with, is that at the moment I have to record in the day, and then because of the light, like the daylight at the moment, there are a lot less convenient hours I can like slot into film. Like I feel like during the summer, I should be able, just because I have a lot more times that I can do it, I should be able to try bang videos out, hopefully.
Yeah. There's a video going up. I think the next video that goes up after the podcast will be my new room tour. And I show my sort of setup in there with my light. So I can't bother to move it now because it's stuck in. But I got it for my birthday. It was like 40 quid for 2 lights. So I thought, that's a bargain. I'll get it. Now, we were talking about cameras a couple of days ago, James.
We were.
And I've done some research. Since we were talking, I've been doing some research. And I might have made an investment, James.
Have you has money left your account?
You know, I said I needed to pick something up today before we recorded.
Is it actually?
So I was looking, I was like, I want a good camera. I want a decent camera. The criteria I want a flipper, like a screen that flips up so you can see yourself. Because having a camera that you can't see yourself when you're recording, for me at least,
you can't work with that.
You can't do it. So people that I know the front camera, the back-facing camera on a phone is a better camera, but you can't see yourself. So I can't deal. I have to see everything in shot. I wanted autofocus because autofocus is a lifesaver. And there was one. I looked at like the G7X and all that. I was like, I'm not spending £700 on a camera when I'm not making money from YouTube. And I'm on furlough. We're not doing that. It's not happening. So I found it's a Canon PowerShot one. I don't know what it's actually. I can tell you, Canon PowerShot SX740 thing. So it's got the flip up screen at the top. It's autofocus. It's got all the trimmings you'd expect. I've already tried it. Like the battery's charging. I couldn't get it connected for this. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I need to buy HDMI cable. But I thought 350 quid. I thought, you know what? It's not too bad. Let's do it. So I got it. So from the next video onward, expect to see some top quality video, and it's got an inbuilt microphone that is the equality of having those one on top. But I don't like those like the attachment microphones. So I thought we'll buy it. We'll do it.
Well, that will probably be a good experiment for me because that's another that is probably for me the investment I am considering the most, and therefore, if seeing how that works with you, seeing what I like about it, I mean, let's just say Christmas, I worked a lot. Like I have been getting some all right paychecks. So if I want to make the investment, it's definitely possible.
Fully recommend it. I filmed like some tester videos with it, and I would fully recommend. The zoom on it is incredible. I don't know if you want to zoom, but I bought it because I want to do some more vlogs. I did a vlog series when I went to the Isle of Wight. I'm meant to be going on holiday at some point.
I did want to talk about series. That series is actually on this like YouTube series.
Oh, just okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, if you're looking for a cheap-ish, obviously 350 quid is not cheap, but a cheap-ish good camera, I can definitely recommend that one. I can send you the link. Argos, next day, click and collect. Bargain.
What you should do is like send me some like footage of you just like speaking for a bit with the camera to see what sort of quality is like.
Well, I'm going to record a video today with it. So once I can send you the unlisted link so you can just watch the whole video, see how it works.
Yeah.
With, like autofocus and zoom and stuff if you want.
That'd be class, yeah.
So YouTube series, James. What did you want to talk about with?
I mean, because we have both attempted them. You slightly more successfully than me.
Slightly. Very slightly.
I mean, I'm happy to talk about why that didn't work, but I do have videos out addressing that.
Yeah, no, you go for it. Anything you want to...
But, I mean, for me, the idea of a YouTube, like producing more like content over like multiple episodes is something that always interests me as a viewer. Like, for example, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bazinga and his 3-episode series running the marathon.
Oh, the How to Be Bazinga.
That was
phenomenal.
Because that added up to about an hour's worth of content.
Yeah,
that was genuinely amazing. Like that was such good content.
It was so good.
Like that's one of those things where it's like it also kind of leads me on to a conversation of like your name and changing it, because there are things like, for example, I'd like to say I'm like quite into fitness and I would be interested in doing that more like long form content, but it's one of those things when you've got the name that I've got,
which was
that is your audience interested in that type of thing.
Which was why I changed, because I changed it when, like, in the middle of the Isle of Wight vlog series, I did an entire rebrand. I designed the logo and everything while I was on holiday. I thought because I don't upload these videos under the Fandom Master because this has nothing to do with fandom. I want to be able to post vlogs and things that aren't necessarily fandom related. So I just thought, you know what, we'll go for it, and I don't see a problem with it so far. Like, it's because it means that you're not, because obviously, because you're called the Nerdy Brit. So I lost a lot of subscribers when I changed it to Fraser Oliver and said like I'll be doing some content that isn't fandom related.
I mean, what I was thinking was that, and this isn't like an announcement video or anything.
Oh,
I am heavily considering, because I already have my name is James Good. I mean, it's literally there in the call, but like, I am considering, because I have like that as a YouTube account, I am heavily considering that as like a place where maybe I don't have to upload as consistently.
Like a second account, second channel.
Like, maybe it allows me to do different styles of videos, but because I wouldn't want to lose making the nerdier videos. Yeah. But I also wouldn't want to splice my audience. I kind of want to go, if you enjoy me, go over to the James Skinner channel. Yeah. If you enjoy nerdy stuff, go to the Nerdy Brit. If you enjoy both, stay. Yeah. Lucky you.
See, that was something I was very much considering, because I thought, well, Fandom Master one channel, me as a person, another channel. But growing the channel from nothing to like 75, I think I'm on now, it's taken like just under a year. I think I put my first video up in May, I think. So it's like the idea of having to build that again from nothing and go through like the whole, I haven't got any views, what if no one comes over? That for me was like, I don't want to have to deal with. Now I've got it's not a massive 75 subscribers. It's not a big amount of subscribers, but I've got a base of viewers, and to have to that again for me is like, you know what, I'd rather not. I'll just post it all on here.
Which it's probably one of those things where for me now, it's one of those things where like I'm considering starting to maybe create some of that content and play around with it, but maybe try and grow a bit on this platform first and try and build that. Like for example, another topic I wanted to talk to you about would be our ETH.
That was so fun, honestly.
Which was very fun, and I do think we should talk about it. But I mean, for example, videos like those, like it wouldn't have to be like always like high effort. It could just still be me talking. Yeah. But just like content that is me and not nerd would be great over at that channel. So it just like for example, leading it back to Christmas, like series is that I want to talk about. Like I've made it my aim this year to redo the Christmas series.
The 12 days of Christmas. Or the 3 days of Christmas.
I mean,
trying Brussels sprouts. That was best video of the year.
I had the idea in early December. By the second day, I was filming on the day with barely any time. I was working Christmas hours, so I was doing like 9-hour days, and it was just, it needed to be something that I was filming the first episode in September.
I think, I don't know what your opinion is, but my Christmas series, I thoroughly enjoyed. My ranking of all the different tubs of chocolate. I
can't remember being disappointed because were there some you just didn't get around to?
Well, what happened? I tried. This is a bit behind the scenes here. So I did. What ones did I do?
Well, you did all 4 first.
Yeah. So first video was introducing it and saying this, this, and this, and then I did quality streaks, and then I did celebrations, and I didn't get around to doing heroes or roses. I didn't do roses because I think I said in the video. They're identical to quality streak. Like all the flavors are identical.
But rose is better.
I don't like either, if I'm honest. I don't know why I didn't try heroes, to be honest. But they did.
Because heroes is the god tip.
There's no need to rank them. They're all brilliant. I don't need to rank. They're all. Oh, hang on.
Wait, the Whisper. Right. Tell me that you're going to heroes and getting out the Whisper.
No, but I wouldn't.
Or the double decker.
Well, I think. Like, actually, Dinky Decker.
New double decker.
Yeah, Dinky Decker's a vile.
I think it was like last year, like not like literally like a month ago, like
but
last year, where they added like the double decker and the crunchy, amazing addition.
Love a crunchy.
Tastes so nice. What I would have done is not introduce double decker at all, because double decker is nice as a bar. It's not a good small chocolate. No. I would have swapped the crunchy with the Whisper and then had more of everything else.
That's fair enough. But I think what I'm saying with Heroes, if I went to a box of Celebrations and all that's left was Snickers and Bounty, I'd go, you know what? I'll leave it, because I think they're both vile. If I go to a box of Heroes and all that's left is a Dinky Decker, I'll go, you know what? I'll have it. I'll take one for the team.
I would agree, apart from the Dinky Decker. It's not good chocolate.
It's not, but if I really wanted a chocolate, I'd go, you know what? I'll have it. If I really wanted a chocolate and all that, if there was a Bounty or a Snickers, I'd go, okay, I'll go without.
If you eat Bounty, you are a sex offender.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure if you'll keep that in, actually.
I'll make a decision when I'm editing. It depends what mood I'm in when I'm editing. Subscribe to James.
So we can be slightly less PG clean.
Yeah, I should have said at the start. I'll put a warning at the start that there might be some offensive language and grow up, basically. So I can't. But we're so far in. There's no point in bleeping that.
Yeah.
So yeah, staying on the sort of thing of what were we talking about before you? Oh, series. YouTube
series. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about our beef.
So keeping on series. The problem with I haven't done many series where like it directly leads on one video to another. Yeah. Could you call the tier list videos a series because they're all the same type of video? Probably. I could probably get away with calling that a series, the tier list series. But things like the Isle of Wight vlog, my Minecraft gameplay, that is a series because it leads on. I've stopped that exclusive here because I've now got a capture card and can play my Switch and record it. I'm binning off the PC Minecraft because I cannot do keyboard and mouse controls, and I'm going to start a new one on my Switch. If you don't like that, I don't care. It's my channel, not yours.
Does anyone actually want more Fraser Oliver Minecraft content?
If they don't, I don't care. I do. And it's one of those videos where I will do it anyway. I may as well record it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think we've ever said that our beef wasn't actually like genuine. Like, that's not saying it. Like, yes, I got free stuff from Innocent, and yes, James was annoyed because he was promised it and got gift. Yes, that happened, but we never hated each other. Like, just putting that out there. Like, we never.
Bearing in mind, I don't think anyone thought we were like properly, but
I don't know. There might be some.
Just say, I think we both had a lot of fun with it.
That was so much fun.
It was one of those things where it was like in front of each other, it like on video we were kind of like blah, 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 like fuck you, like it was kind of like that, but like behind the scenes we were like messaging each other going like, oh, great video, great.
Yeah, it's like, if you say this, then I can say this back.
And there was like a little bit of banter with it. It was like, oh, there like I think when it like really kicked off was so I think because I made my video as kind of just like I made that video not to get a reaction.
What, the original one?
The original, not because my video, I think people interpreted it that the way people I think interpreted it was the way it started was you made your Innocent video, I made mine, you responded, response.
Yes.
That I think people saw it as a 5-video arc, whereas I made what people could assume the second video of the arc, my first one.
Yeah.
I didn't make that to get a reaction out of you.
I just saw free content.
I was hoping that Innocent would. I genuinely thought,
or Naked
if Innocent don't see it, I've made a video.
Or Naked
Innocent do see it. Like genuine, that was the way I saw it.
Yeah.
But then that didn't work out, but luckily, I was kind of like you made your video, and a couple of bits you said, and I was like, he has kind of got me here, but I watched it, laughed quite a lot, and I was like, yes, I've got another video out of that, and that and my response to you did really well, and like I will genuinely make an honest thing. I made my response video to you probably about a day after you did yours.
Really?
And it was like uploadable, but then I was like, no, because I watched your video again. I was like, even though he isn't actually going in on me, like it was such like a good, well-structured video that I need to like put in the effort here and make like a banging response video. And like, if you're talking about videos I'm proud of, even though it is kind of going in on you, that was another video I was really proud of.
Yeah.
It was just like, it just worked. It was funny.
Yeah. And then we sort of agreed, should we probably stop it there now? Sort of thing. We were like,
what I think I made for my video, and I think we kind of got onto the topic of where do we end this? Because I think from my perspective, I think if you'd made another like response video, I was probably going to make one more.
Yeah, and that'd be it.
And let it be at that. But I was very glad that you made the more. You made a video that still kind of kept things interesting. Kept the saga going.
But was more truthful sort of thing.
It was genuinely like the honest conclusion to what happened, and therefore I think that was the most interesting way to go, because I feel like we'd both made our video about our experience with Innocent. We'd both then talked about each other's videos,
and then it ended.
There was nothing really more we could say. Like the story of what happened is very easy to piece together from both of our videos. Yeah. And apart from that, there wasn't like neither of us really wanted to say anything like too insulting. Too far,
because we didn't want to.
I mean, like you, like at the end of the day, you made some ginger jokes and said I burn in the sun. Like, that's funny stuff.
But that's like when we used to, like when we could have, like me, you and Fabian round like his house. That was a common. That was daily. The fact that yes, you were ginger. Yes, you couldn't sit in the sun for longer than 10 minutes.
You made ginger jokes at me. I think I made fun of you changing your name.
You did.
I made reaction video jokes.
That's actually something I want to talk about, the reaction video stuff. I actually want to talk about that.
Genuinely, I was kind of like, Fraser, stop with the reaction videos. I'll be honest, I didn't enjoy your reaction videos.
That's fair enough.
And mainly because they weren't you, and they were like, they were, and like for the first time, like this, like openly and honestly, for the first time, though they were videos I didn't want to watch the whole thing.
That's fair enough.
Apart from Minecraft, but that just doesn't interest me.
But
But like those reaction videos were like they just weren't good videos, and that was my kind of way of going, Fraser, stop being a reaction channel. That isn't what you're good at.
So I think the only I don't want to do any more of the reacting videos to the extent of, like, I think I did one like reacting to, I can't remember what it was like Instant Karma or something like that. I have some reaction videos planned, but they're more like trailer reactions where I can actually like
when you reacted to the investor stuff, that was interesting because that was you reacting to what they were saying and then giving your opinion on the fandom bits of it, which, bear in mind, not all of your channel is fandom, but when you talk about a lot of fandoms, that is interesting.
I also have reacting to illegal musicals, because Illegal Hamilton was the second best performing video. I'm going to do a sequel to that. I've got Illegal Book of Mormon coming up, things like that. So it's with reaction, I want to react to things that I feel like I can add something to. Like if I react to a fandom like a trailer, I can say that's cool, that's not, I'm excited for that. With the musicals, I can go, they can't sing, why are they playing it like that, etc.
With you reacting to Instant Karma, that is literally going, ooh, karma, next video. And then you find like a different way of like saying that, and then it's tough.
That was a low point.
So after now we've opened up the floor to me saying I wasn't a fan of your of those bits of content out of curiosity.
you going to ask me the same question?
Completely honest. Are there any videos of mine that you were like, or any like parts of my content that you were like, James, that's part?
I can't, off the top of my head, can't think of any. I'm just going to hop over to your channel.
Obviously, the Christmas series and like episodes 2 and 3 were awful.
Yes, but that's like, yeah, that they weren't necessarily bad. Like the Salted Caramel Baileys one, I actually enjoyed that. That was a good video because it was just like,
I think it was quite honest.
Yeah, that was a good video. That was like my mental health video that I did, which I'll link up there if you haven't seen it.
Which is a video I am genuinely considering, not echoing, but like one of the things I think both me and you should do is when it comes to Mental Health Week, I definitely think a mental health podcast would be
when is
a
mental
very
health
good
week?
idea. I'm not 100% sure. I'll Google it, but
yeah, but no, I think
that's a podcast I definitely want to do,
because we both have had in one way or another experiences around that. In obviously, I said in my video the sort of what I've gone through, sort of like what my view of it is, and you were now saying you might do the same thing, which I think it was just good to have, like, be able to get it off my chest to say, like, speaking to a camera. It sounds weird, but it's very like therapeutic.
Okay, I can't find it, but at some point we'll work out when it is. And I think overall, like, I found it very good to, like, it's one of those things where if you see someone else talk about things that not only you care about them and their experiences, but also when you've experienced similar things, to then see them go through the same motions. Like that video for me was good to have out there. And I feel like and especially with you saying that was good for you, not only would I want to create that video for me, but I would want someone else to have the experience that I did watching yours.
And I think it's a good video to have to, like, I might go back and react to that in like a year's time, or like, so, because I talked a lot in that video about my weight loss. So I want to go maybe once.
Congratulations. That's a big step.
Thank you, James. So when, actually that was inspired a lot by, we talked about earlier, the Ethan, How to Be Bazinga show. I watched that and thought, right, well, so that was like the inspiration for that. But yeah, I want to go back to it maybe in like a year's time and go, just review the whole thing. Go, has this got better? Has that got better? What's this like now, sort of thing. I don't know if I definitely will, but I'll see.
It's good to show your progress, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the obviously not as a much of a severity, but the 2021 YouTube resolutions. I will react to that at the start of next year and go, did I stick to the upload schedule? Did I do that?
And how many subscribers am I on? Create a sequel where you then, after reacting to that, you can work out what you then want to achieve in 2022. Yeah,
because that's something I want to talk about is subscriber count. Like, how many subscribers, A, would you like to have by the end of this year, and B, do you think you'll have?
I set the goal. I kind of meshed a New Year's resolution video into a boys, the Christmas series was shit.
Oh, you're addressing. Was that addressing? Was it like addressing my failure? Maybe that's
it. That video did all right because I clickbaited it.
Yeah, we love a bit of clickbait. Got to be done.
But so I said at my growth rate, and which I'd agree with now, I will like for me probably uploading on average probably once every like fortnight. It pretty much was. I was probably going to hit 100 subs. And with me uploading consistently, I do see even more growth. So bearing in mind my consistency, I might be inconsistently consistent.
Yeah,
I'd probably like to say I'll be a bit more consistent this year than last year. I would say I'm probably on track to hit 100 to 120.
Yeah,
but I'd like to hit 200.
Because I want. Obviously, so like, what's your 60? Are you on 60 now? Or is it above 60?
60, 61.
Okay, So that we're not too far away from each other, subscriber-wise. And yes,
Race to 100 subs.
Yeah, we've got a group of people that watch our videos, but it's not a community yet. And the idea of having a community, I think would be really good.
There are certain people that if I make a Hamilton video, I see pop up in the comment section. And for Doctor Who, I think there are a couple of people I see. Yeah. And obviously, commenting is a great way to keep track of the people who you see a lot.
Yeah.
But also, there are some people who just don't comment. Like you don't comment a lot, but I'm pretty sure you watch a video.
Oh, yeah. I watch every video. But I don't comment unless I've got something to comment. To yeah.
I mean, feel free to comment, algorithm, but...
We love the algorithm. I hate the algorithm.
Maybe that's what we should do. We should just comment.
Just comment on each other's video all the time. All the time, just like and comment everywhere.
I mean, I always like videos and stuff.
Yeah. Like, it's a weird thing because asking like the audience to like and subscribe, I hate doing it because every YouTuber will do it at the end of every video. Every video on YouTube at the end will be like, subscribe, comment, share. Sort of thing. Also, and I hate doing it, but if I don't do it, I'm not going to grow.
And it's one of those things where it's like, some days, like I want to build my channel around like the comment section. Sometimes, like a couple of videos that there was like a stretch for about 3 or 4 videos. I was like, comment this thing, I'll do it. Like,
yeah,
I think on my 14th Doctor one, I was like, if 10 doctors are put in the comments, I will rank your suggestions, things like that. But unfortunately, I don't quite have the audience yet to create videos from the comment section, even though I'd love to do that.
I think, I don't know why this number's like coming to my head, but I think around the like 100, 150 mark is where you're going to start to see some sort of community.
I hope.
Because I think when you get there, that's when the algorithm can sort of catch you and put you out there more. I think channels under 100, because loads of people, like big YouTubers, say the hardest like grind is getting from 0 to 100. Once you're at 100, your channel will start to grow more. It's just getting to 100.
And I feel like even like 100 to 1,000 will probably be like pretty difficult. I feel like when you have like 1,000, you have a genuine community. You have a viewership that, bearing in mind, maybe not every video will be a banger, but like every video should get like 100 views.
Yeah, which is
so,
like
you'll both, and then like videos that like we both had. I think I've got about 4 or 5 videos with like 100 plus. I think you have that similar. I think.
Yeah.
And like those videos that are 100 plus, and they're the bangers.
Yeah.
I think for me, the stage where I will feel successful and happy with YouTube is when those numbers are
just normal. Yeah, where you see like the average view on like the 1 to 10.
Bonus.
Yeah,
anything above that is genuinely a bonus. I've worked hard. Thank you very much.
I don't know what your average like view count is. So when it comes up on the 1 to 10, it will say where you are and then what your average one is, and then an arrow depending on whether it's more or less. But I think mine at the moment, mine's like 8 to 25 is the average view.
I
on a video.
I think. Well, it depends because my views can be like so varying. It's ridiculous.
Well, I saw the Sidemen put something, I think it must be on Instagram, talking about their most recent video, and their average view count was like something stupid, like 1 to 1.6 mil a video. Like that's meant how is that an average view count?
That's I think they posted on the Instagram. It was like the Tinder one was like their 1 out.
Yeah,
of 10,
that's it.
And like
it had like 10 million views.
Like the average, like it's a 55-minute video, and their average watch time is 24 minutes.
That's mental.
Which created like hundreds of million, like 100 million over amount of watch time. So my my typical views are 7 to 20.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I am.
And apparently on 61 subs. So
go on, James.
One of the things I'm excited for is if you don't know, university is looking like a very likely option for me next year, starting that. Because like the closest place I've applied for, I will still live there. University for me is about going to the place and living there. So that having my own, being able to control and having my own space will mean, bearing in mind I'll be a bit more busy with work and stuff, but that will mean I can gain some consistency with uploading. And that's for me, having that is a big motivation, because I know that in 6 months, I will be able to have a place, have a background, and have a place where in daylight hours, I will always be able to film without disturbance.
And I guess it's like if you wanted to film a skit in the kitchen, or you wanted to do a video where you had to be in the kitchen or anywhere else in your house, at the moment, obviously I live with 4 other people, so I can't just run around the house with my camera filming what I want. And I think you're the same, where you can't just, you have to wait for people to either be out of the house, or
I have to wait for specific times for things to be available.
But having your own space, you're not limited by people being there, I guess, unless you live in like uni halls and you've got housemates. But even then, you've got.
But even that's one of my big things, is that I want to consistently upload and grow my channel. So when I go to uni, I don't feel embarrassed by my channel. Yeah,
because if you go to uni and you're like, I've got 80 subscribers, people are going to be like, all right. But if you go, I've got 500 subs, they'll be like, okay, then fair enough.
I'm not going to go, like, we both know, like, unless something very good happens, neither of us are very likely to go to uni with 1k subs.
No. Unless we get massively picked up, or like the sidemen shout us out. It's not going to happen.
But it's one of those things where it's like, the more subs I have, to be fair, either way, if I went to my uni lot and said, hey, I run a YouTube channel, I'm kind of still in the first year, I've got 60 subs, I think they would be fine with it, but I'd feel more validated in telling them if I could say, hey, nice to meet you, I've got a YouTube channel, I've got 150 subs.
Because then it's weird to film then if you're like, well, I put this out to 150 people, as opposed to going, I put this out to 80 people. It's a bit like, oh, okay.
It's
a weird thing.
It's one of those things where for your subscribers is very much at the start for your own validation. Like for me, I think I've gained about like 10 in the past like month or so.
Yeah.
And that has been very motivating to know the content I've been, especially when you're not getting views, to still have people watch your content and go, yeah, he's worth a subscribe. Like that means a lot to know, even if it's not getting views, the people who are watching it are enjoying it and wanting to continue watching you actively, so they push the button.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. I think we covered quite a lot there with like YouTube and WandaVision and everything. So unless there's anything else you want to talk about, we can get on to the classic end of podcast topic for all of these. Are you ready, James?
I am ready.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what we're about to do?
I do.
We're about to do some hypothetical questions, James. It wouldn't be a Fraser Oliver podcast without hypothetical questions.
This is the only reason why.
It's the only reason you come on
to do this.
It's the only reason anyone wants to go. Caitlin's like, I'm only coming on if you're doing hypothetical questions. I was like, oh,
right. Are we? Do we have to finish with this? Because I do have one more topic to address.
Then you address that. We have to finish the hypothetical questions.
We have. Okay.
It's better be a good topic. We've interrupted hypothetical questions. We expect big things from this topic, James.
Fraser.
Yes, that's me.
We both know that we have discussed a certain idea.
Oh.
And I think this would be a good time to discuss if that will happen and the time frame for that and our general thoughts on it.
I had this on my notes, but I deleted it because I didn't think we would want to talk about it. I'm excited.
I think we should.
Assuming we're talking about the same thing here.
I presume we are. A project we were both discussing.
Yes.
A logo was made.
We have a logo. We have a banner. We have. Yeah, we have it all. So basically, when me and James first did the first podcast on my channel, back before it was even called, that was to the Fandom Master at that point. That shows how long ago it was. And since then, we thought that was great. We both love podcasts, and we both wanted to do a, like, not full time, but like a consistent, either like bi-weekly or monthly podcast.
I mean, I think literally in that video, we genuinely say, this is a test. Kind of
we
thing.
do. I think that's the intro.
Like when we did that podcast, because I went to you and we were like, right, we're doing 3 or 4 videos filming, and one of your ideas was genuinely, well, we've discussed a podcast. It might not necessarily be a podcast pilot, but let's have a look at how a podcast would work. And it worked well.
Well, yeah, it was really good. And that's why I sort of kept doing them, because I love doing the podcasts. And me and James have wanted to do a podcast where me and James are the two, like, permanent hosts of the podcast, and we either have guests on or we just do it as us two, depending on, like, from episode to episode.
Well, I mean, one of my things is, I mean, I am still very hopeful it will happen. I mean, it was going to happen.
It was.
But the latest UK lockdown meant me and Fraser, unlike this, aren't very keen on doing it, on doing the permanent podcast. I mean, if this is working well, and maybe we might consider it as
if once I've edited this on Zoom, because we're filming this on Zoom, if once we've done this, it all lines up, the audio, the video, it all looks good, potentially there could be room to start it like this.
I think for me, it's one of those, like, for example, I don't want you to get, because I know you enjoy doing the Fraser Oliver podcast, with having different people on. I am very happy, for example, for both things to go on simultaneously. I am very happy for, like, for example, you to have like different people come on your channel and do a podcast with you, and then also us doing.
Do we want to say the name of our idea for the name or not? Because I have actually created the channel ages ago. I created the channel. So there is a channel out there under the name of our podcast.
It is.
So it could be worth, because putting a podcast on that channel with no subscribers is.
It would. It's not. I don't think it would get a single.
So we want to build the channel before we upload anything, but I don't know if we can tell people to go and subscribe before we've even got a plan for when we're starting or not.
I think it's one of those things interesting to discuss, because I think it will happen. I also think university could be another big thing, because if we both end up at different places, I think if we want it to happen, this is the way it has to happen.
Yeah. So do we say what it's called? Shall we? And then I can always put the logo up on the screen as well.
Feel free.
Am I doing the reveal?
You are.
Okay. So we came up with the name. I think you must have come up with it.
I think it was. I reckon I can't work out who came up with it, because it's one of those things that we kind of joked about in conversation, and one of us probably said at some point, "Good name for a podcast," and we ran with it.
So the podcast will be called, because it will happen at some point. It will be called the Mediocre at Best podcast, because we don't want to put out to people that we're trying to make something massive and amazing, when actually it probably will end up being mediocre at best. Like, and it's a phrase you use, especially you love the word mediocre at best. So
it's a phrase I use a lot.
I'll put the logo here.
It's one of those things where it's like we have similar like personalities, like similar interests, and like our humors work well, and it's one of those things where it's like it's you've got to be able to, if you enjoy our dynamic, you will hopefully enjoy it. If you don't stick with it.
Yeah, and
like it's up to you.
I am gonna, because I think we also discussed it being a podcast channel as well as a channel just for like collabs, or did we not?
I think my idea for it, which hopefully will happen, is that what we do is when we film it, we film a podcast and we also film a video, which ends up being say we did the podcast weekly, we probably wouldn't do it every week, but there would end up being 3 videos in a week. There would be the podcast, the best clip from the podcast, and then a video that goes on the podcast channel, just because then not only are we more in favor with the YouTube algorithm by keeping videos up there, but it also means that like someone can find a video on that channel that's just us doing a video and then discover the podcast through that way.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it is the difficulty of, do we say now people go subscribe, it'll be happening at some point, or do we say, I mean, I probably wouldn't.
What I'd say is link the channel so you can be the first to know when we start.
Okay, cool.
It'll be all over. We'll both announce on YouTube and on our socials, but I think be the first to know. Click the bell.
So it's in the description will be a link to both, not only James's channel, obviously James's amazing channel, go subscribe there, but also the Mediocre at Best channel. So go and subscribe there. I can't promise when there will be content going on there in any form, but if you're there and you put the subscribe and put the bell icon on, then you will be the first to know, along with us announcing it on our channels.
I mean, another idea for me is that talking about we're going to get on to the last topic in a bit, because I know this podcast is becoming quite long.
Yeah, this is a.
But another idea for me is, instead of the solo channel, if I want to do bigger video projects, that's where you can experiment with that on the podcast channel.
Yeah, and then I could, because I was thinking, if you wanted to, like, say you've got a big video idea that needs to happen off, like, I say on location, like when you did your Lost in the Woods one, you did that in the woods. Videos like that, I could always help with cameras or anything like the two more technical. I don't have to appear in the video, but I could help with the technical side of things if you want, like, yeah. So whether that is like, almost like a place for any experimental videos.
So say if I wanted to do like there are some kind of like fitness challenges I kind of want to attempt, like that type of thing. Instead, I could still decide to go with the personal channel and do that, but I could also, if I want to put some extra things on the podcast channel, that could be another thing that's over there.
Yeah, so we do definitely want to do that at some point. Don't know when, because we ideally wanted to wait until we could do the podcast in person, because it just works better when you can bounce off someone who's in the room.
But this has gone well.
But as long as the editing and all the audio is okay, this could be some sort of solution.
Well, hey,
right. Are we ready, James? For the infamous. Right. I've got two hypothetical questions. Two hypothetical questions for you, James. So are you familiar with the film The Purge?
Is that the one with like 24 hours to kill anyone?
Yeah, 24 hours, anything's legal.
Yeah.
So if there was a purge, would you go out and kill people, or would you stay in and try to protect yourself?
Have I got time to prepare? Can I like find people's addresses that I don't like?
Yeah, right. So say Boris Johnson comes on, does a press conference, and he's like, look, this past 2 years have been pretty bad anyway, so we're gonna have
So now you can kill anyone.
It's like, so kill people but don't kill people. Stay inside and kill people and don't kill people. He does that. And and he says from tomorrow it's the purging. You've seen this at like 4 o'clock the following after, like the afternoon before. So you've got like an afternoon to prepare.
I'm a pussy. I'd stay inside.
That's fair enough, to be honest. I
would make sure I have plenty of ways to defend myself. You know, knives and shit. But like, like I would not go out.
Do not.
Because like there are some people who would be targeted and try to kill people. There are, of course, there are people who are like just like generally try and rob people. But if you went outside, there are genuinely people who would just
kill you.
Who would just like, I'm going to kill you because I can.
Yeah, even if they don't know you, and they're just like, I'm just going to kill you because that's it. I can. And
So I feel like if I stay inside, someone has to be targeting me, which I don't think anyone would, unless my secondary school English class still is holding some beef against me.
Oh God. Yeah, I was going to ask this question on my podcast with Fabian, but I thought things are going to get out of hand if I ask him would he kill people if he could. So I thought probably don't ask that to Fabian. Yeah, I do the same. I just stay in and try and not die. Yeah. Now this one, I like this question. So James, you've just found out that you are a superhero, a real life superhero. Now, which friend would you choose as a sidekick, and what would both of your powers be?
So what friend would I choose?
So you can pick one of your mates to be your sidekick, and you can pick the powers for the both of you. Now, don't feel because I'm here you have to pick me. You pick anyone you want to be your sidekick, and you can pick both of your powers.
Thing is, though, you know what my first thought is, which makes me sound like a really bad person.
Oh, God.
It's nothing pervy or anything.
Go on. Okay, go on.
My first thought was,
no.
My sidekick can't have better powers than me because
that's about because then it's not then they're not a sidekick. You'd be their sidekick.
Yeah, I don't want them to like get jealous and like try.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, thing is though, do I have to pick the missus? Otherwise, she'll get grumpy that she doesn't have the powers that I do.
But does she watch my channel?
Oh yeah, she's only subscribed to 2. I made her subscribe to mine, and then I made her subscribe to you.
Yeah, she might have a bit of a tantrum.
Watch. If me and her are like out and like we see like in the car or something, or like at her house, and we like see a video of yours, but we usually do watch it.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, she might have a bit of a problem if you don't say her. But I said friend. Do you see her as a friend?
Okay. No, I can't.
Use that get out of jail free card.
She's my best friend. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's being cut.
But so
are you picking your missus?
Right. Well, I feel like Fabian has some like pent up anger. So that wouldn't be good to.
Well, like he'd be the villain, to be honest.
No one is giving him superpowers and thinking that's a good idea.
No.
I mean, no one needs a Brummy superhero. So Paul and Affordin.
Save the world.
So probably I probably would give you the superpowers.
But that's it. Well, I'm saying thank you until I know what the superpowers are.
I think we'd have a laugh.
We would, to be fair. We're the most sarcastic superheroes on the planet.
I think I would want. I'd want to kind of be like, you know, when you can like, so like not like kind of like a mix of like Doctor Strange and like the Quicksilver type thing, where you kind in a way that you can control time in a way that you are not moving fast.
Right, so like Quicksilver, but
slow down time.
Yeah.
Like you can pause time, you can make it go faster, you can bearing in mind scientifically that isn't possible.
No.
I can do it.
So that's your power. So that's your power.
That's my power.
Right, what's my power?
But I kind of feel like for that power, your power has to be the same thing.
Otherwise, I can't really help. Like you'll be there slowing down time, and
I'm being super fast, like because something's gone wrong in Botswana. But if I'm then carrying you to Botswana through the sheer force of that neck's breaking, I will just die. You're just dead.
Unless I have like super resistance. Unless I have like super strength resistance, so I don't have my neck broken when you like run really fast and me on your back to Botswana.
But if your power is super resistance, then when you get to the fight, you can't do anything. You're just there, just like, hello, I'm the mascot.
That's true.
So yeah.
So we're just both super speed. Okay. I feel bad now because I thought this out because I put the question there. I thought this out. So for me, I'd want to be a shapeshifter.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because this is if anyone asks you which superpower, like this is every superpower in one. Because if you want to fly, just shapeshift into a bird.
Fuck with time if you're.
I don't want to fuck with time. If you want to fly, be a bird. If you want to be like undetectable, be an ant or something. Like you can be any super strength, be a lion. Like you can be anything as a shapeshifter.
See, but if you're a shapeshifter, you can just grow big muscles. You can just it's just
yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's steroids without the health problems.
Yeah. Well, that is what this podcast is called.
Steroids without the health problems.
Yeah, there we go. And then my sidekick, I feel bad because I didn't actually choose you.
That's cool.
Because I don't want to put you in any danger, James. That's the reason. I don't want to put James in any danger. I can't do mediocre at best on my own. So I actually chose Paul, but I'd have him be like
really. You can't have a Brummy superhero.
No, I'd have him be like a really like brainy like tech whiz that can like hack into absolutely anything. So I'm like, we're stuck out with like this high security. Paul comes in. It's alright. I've got my MacBook and just like hacks into the military or something.
New title for the podcast. All right, I've got my MacBook.
But brackets in Brummy accent. It has to be exclusively said in a Brummy accent. So that would be my thing. Just so Paul can be like a tech whiz. He just hacks into anything.
Oh, that is those questions. They're the best part of the podcast.
Honestly, so this is breaking the mold of the podcast, the whole structure. So apologies, but I was meant to mention this. So I don't know if this is true or whether I've been fed fake news and I've believed it. But apparently, Disney don't have the rights to call Wanda and Pietro Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and they have never been referred to as that in the MCU.
They didn't. I think it's one of those things where there's a loop. I think because they've been both Avengers and X-Men in the comics, both characters can be used. But I don't.
Not the names.
I presume that. Like I thought that Wanda eventually during the series, because they now have the rights, will get referred to as the Scarlet Witch.
Because that was where I got confused, because they said when the director said to Jimmy Woo, does she have any alias she goes by? And Jim was like, no. Well, I was like, well, she does, Scarlet Witch. But then I realised she's never been to a Scarlet Witch.
I don't know if there's a loophole, because I swear in the Civil War trailer back in the day, they referred to her as the Scarlet Witch. So in some way they're allowed to refer to her in promotional material as it.
Was very weird that I just never clocked that they never referred to Pietro and Wanda as Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. I just thought it was really weird. Just want to bring that up quickly.
Fair enough.
Well, James, this has been a very long podcast.
How long is that?
I can't see how long it's been.
An hour and a.
Yeah, we started at what, we must have started at 11 maybe, because we meant to start at 10:30, but we had some delays.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't before 11, I think.
It's 1 and a bit hours maybe. Who knows?
Think 1 hour 40. But yeah. Well done for getting to this point in the video.
No one's got to this point in the video, James. No one. But if you have, by some miracle, thank you so much for watching. Go and subscribe to James. As I said, his link's up there in the description and on the end screen. If you've got this far in
the video, comment, Brummies can't be superheroes.
Or, it's alright, I've got my MacBook. Either of those. Actually, right, if you're watching at this point, I want you to go over to James's channel, and on his most recent video, I want you to just comment, Brummies can't be superheroes, over on his most recent video. Just do that. No one will do it, but it'd be fun if someone does, wouldn't it?
If you do that, you're getting pinned and a shout out in the next video.
That is mental. And while you're over there, subscribe, obviously. Subscribe to the Mediocre at Best channel. Hey! And if you enjoyed this podcast, like it. If you didn't, guess what? There's a button for that as well. I'll link all the podcasts up there so you can watch them. Subscribe, please, because I want to beat James to 100 subscribers. So if you could subscribe to me, I've already got a head start of 14 now. So please help, and I'll see you whenever. Because I record in like before, I don't know what day this is going out. It's either Wednesday or Sunday, but I cannot tell you which one. Probably Wednesday. Probably Sunday. It's one of them. Ciao. Anything to say, James?
Bye, cunts.